Hi everyone, how about today we use Hypertufa for our little indoor plants?
Got one of my little tiny Hypertufa cups. Has a hole drilled in the bottom. It's probably, I don't know if you'd call that about an 8-ounce cup. It's pretty old. I am going to plant this. I'm not sure what that is. Any of you who know these things, it was in a random pot with others. So I've pulled it out and I'm going to go ahead to plant it inside this little pot. I cut out a little piece of coffee filter. I'm going to cover the hole. I think I better maybe cut that a little smaller. There, I cut a little smaller. Got stuff down in there. We'll go ahead and get this planted. I only need the tiniest little amount of soil, and I'm going to use some grit down in there. Make sure it drains well, and I'll mix that up, and here we go. There, I've got him stuffed in there. He looks pretty good. I've got to clean up the sides and get the soil pushed down in there and clean out those little crevices. But I got a brush over here. Yeah, I got a special brush to clean that out and do a little poking down the sides. Make sure everything is in there like I want it. So let me get him cleaned up. Okay, we've got him mostly cleaned up. Now I'm going to water him a little because he looks just a little bit parched. He's got that slightly puckered look. And I tried not to touch him as much as I could because he is one of those ones that looks like it's coated with the white. So I don't want to touch him and have him lose that little white ghostly appearance. But I think that's cute. I may try to stuff a little of the pumice stone or the little crushed granite down around the top as a top dressing. But after all that, I'm done. Okay, I had some of this decorative stone. Looks like this. And I have poured that around the top of it. It's turned out really cute. I think I've got it pressed in there real well. Looks good. I did it all the way around. Looks nice. Okay, we're going to put him over here. And I will water him just a bit since he does look a little bit dry. It's just going to be a little, and it'll be from the bottom. I'll put him. Is he going to fit in one of these saucers? Yes. See, it fits right down in there. So I'll water him from the top down. Or sorry, from the bottom up. So there's another one ready. I am letting him get a drink. I think it's a very pretty, I don't know whether to call that echeveria or one of the others. Got him in the water to absorb, but I'll only leave him in there for maybe 5-10 minutes and check on him. But he's cute. He's a real nice looking plant. And I love him in my little cupcake. And I've got a few more here to get started on planting. And that'll be fun. It's not real. It's not real. Okay, there we go. Set my timer to check on him in 5 minutes.
Now while we're out here and got all the setup and camera, let's check out these little jet bead babies that we sprouted from the leaves, and how about getting them planted in their own little tufa cup.
Now these jet beads, the echeveria jet beads that I have in the nursery bed, I think I'm going to take this cluster that's growing real well and plant those in this little container that I have. I have a Hypertufa container that is made from a yogurt dish. It's real tiny, as you can see, and I think I will plant those just in a cluster. So I'm going to have to carefully extract them so that I can put them down into this new container. Now I've got my little container all ready, coffee filter over the hole. I've got my cactus potting mix, and I've put a little bit of it together, threw in some extra perlite, so we're ready to go with this one. Now I've got it all stuffed in, and I took the brush. This is a bottle brush for cleaning out my turkey baster. Got that all cleaned off and have my container ready. Let me move this little clump there. That should be all ready for my little new growths. Okay, here is my little pot. I'm going to start with this largest of the cuttings. Its little grow leaf is almost completely disappeared. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it does have a bit of root on it. And I'm going to put that one right down in the center. And then this one, that has a lot of root. Hope you can see that. Let me hold it against my shirt. You can see those roots. I'll put him right down in there. This one is just tiny, but with a lot of root growth. What can I hold that against? Let me use, I don't know, can you see it against that? These are little tea bag holders. They've come in handy. All right, let me get another one. This one, its little mama leaf is almost entirely gone too. You can just barely see it. Looks good. And I've got one more. A lot of roots on that one. And you can just barely see its little growth. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, let me make sure there's no more down here. Nope, no more in here. So we can do away with the little nursery bed for these. And my jet bead stick then can come to this one. that should work out just fine. Okay, I'm doing my best to keep this right up here where we can see it real easily. The biggest one is there in the center, and the dying leaves are round with their little tiny roots. So I have some of that tiny gravel that I spoke about, and I'm going to put it around the outside as a mulch over these roots that are still sticking up. That way the roots are kind of covered. And I hope you can see this and I don't block it too much. Now I think that will get them just about like I need them. I think that's good. So this should work out. Now I'm going to just put a touch of water since these have already been rooted. I've got a tiny little turkey baster that I'm just going to trickle drops around to moisten it. I just want to settle in those roots. So these are just droplets of water. And I think that will get my little tiny plant. You can see how this is, well, it's probably a little bit too fine, but it gives you 1/4 ounce measurements, that type thing on here. And I barely had a tiny little bit in there, just enough to almost lightly mist them. But I think that's going to work. So I have another little pot planted up with my tiny little nursery succulents. And these are the echeveria jet beads. That looks pretty good. Okay, now let me put him in the same staging spot I had my other one. That's the bigger one. And this is the new tiny one. Oh, let me turn on the light. Okay, so we've got one full grown and then one that will be my tiny baby, just graduated from the newborn nursery. And these are in Hypertufa pots. Let me get the spider. Okay, there we go. I think that looks wonderful. I hope you can see it against that white background. But I don't know how close I can get without it getting distorted. I think that looks real good. And we're all ready with this one. So I have my tiny baby succulents in Hypertufa. Looks wonderful.